Say hi, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby, again.
Yeah, a lot of y'all been asking about Bobby's tractor. He spent a while taking off the metal work and cleaning it up and cleaning up various different parts of the electronics. We wanted to see if she would turn over. So what we've done is we've taken a hot wire. Now this wire here is connected to both sides of that. Not that, I don't know if that matters much, but we just ran the battery from here to here. Here, you hold this and I'll check the compression. Like
that's just what I was fixing to do.
You gonna stick your finger on it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
That's all you gotta do, put your finger on it.
All right.
You got that?
Yeah, we do.
So
well, that's a big relief.
So
nothing was knocking.
It sounded good.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded good. So you've got this wire that goes to your distributor, and it goes through this resistor thingy-madoodle.
Right.
And you got a switch up there. Actually, I think it's highly unlikely, but if you want to hold one of those plug wires, stick a screwdriver in there and stick it on your tongue. We can turn that switch on and just see if it shocks you.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think that's how you do it?
That turnip truck has been gone too long.
But what you can do is you can take and you can put a spark. If you don't want to shock yourself, which some people are sissies, yeah, you can take one of these and stick it on that. On the block, yeah. You already know all this.
I know that.
What'd you give me over here for?
Ignorant.
If you're so intelligent. So let's turn the switch on, because you got this wired up, right?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That's what I had to do when I was fixing my lawnmower.
Could get a good ground.
This way you can actually see it. I don't know if that's a good ground though.
Well, as long as you get a connection, you've got rusty paint there.
Yeah,
so.
no, that's what
But you can ground it to the battery if you want.
That's what I'm gonna do.
And then ground the other side to the oily side of the plug down here. And then I've got the switch on. So you know what to do. Just wash that plug. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. All those points are probably frozen.
Let's try it right there. Because if it has an accessory, well, you can tell by looking at your wires.
Yeah.
Let's just let's do that.
I'm
gonna stop this.
Could be.
Say bye, Bobby.
Bye, Bobby.
Stop the video before we got to this part because I couldn't hold the camera and the wires and all this other stuff. But we do have a hot from the ignition switch when it's turned on to this resistor, and we have a bright light on this side and a dim light on this side, which tells us that this resistor is doing what it's supposed to. It's cutting this voltage down from 12 to 6 volt. Now from here, that runs down to the magneto, and this tractor doesn't have a distributor like you'd be used to seeing. It has
a distributor, doesn't have a coil.
It doesn't have. You talk for me because I'm saying it wrong, but it doesn't have a distributor cap like you would expect to see. This is more like what they used to have on the old flathead Fords, which it is.
So this is a magneto, right? And that's the distributor.
Magneto.
That's the distributor.
Yeah.
Distributor cap.
So
and that's the distributor.
I don't have any experience with that right there, so
I'll read up on it.
I'm gonna let him read up on it. But look at that shiny carburetor. Oh, the joy. Oh.
If I could find somebody to fix that original, those things are worth a lot.
That original what?
Original carburetor. I just can't. The problem is the what was the problem? Oh, the throttle plate.
You got a shiny sticker on your radiator.
Yeah, Clancy radiators.
Look at that.
Limerick. Look where it's from.
That's probably worth more than you paid for the tractor.
Look where it's showing where it's from.
Limerick, Ireland. You know that's worth more than you paid for the whole tractor.
Well, it's even got gold.
It's gold plated. Yeah. It's gold plated.
Take off all this nasty old black paint.
Have you put water in it to see if it leaks?
And I had water in it.
And it didn't leak?
With antifreeze.
Oh, it had water in it.
Yes, and I even looked at it because when it was getting cold.
If it had water and antifreeze, then you know you ain't got no busted block.
Yeah,
so I'd say you're good to go, buddy.
Because
So we know you got compression. We know you got fire, at least to the magneto. You're going to be driving this thing over to my house before you know it.
Oh, I hope so.
I'm going to leave now.
All right.
I'm going to leave while we're ahead.
Oh, come look at the garden.
Garden?
Yeah.
You growing tomatoes?
We'll grow tomatoes and corn, squash, beans.
Oh, you got a big garden. Yeah, well, that's a smart place to put it, over here where all the horse poopy is.
Potatoes.
It makes more sense to put the garden where the horse poop is than to carry it over.
Well, why do you think I've been having them over here for
You're
3
pretty
years?
smart. You're pretty smart for an old redneck boy from Georgia. Look at that. That's Sherry Bob. Hey, Sugar.
Corn, potatoes.
Hey, Sugar.
Squash, green beans, Dixie wanted radishes, peanuts, okra. She doesn't know about the okra yet. She doesn't like okra. And watermelons, cabbage, lettuce.
Yeah. Oh, show me your barn. Bobby's building a barn.
It's a shop.
A shop. Oh, look at that. That's a good looking big floor there. Heck yeah.
I still got to come in and double up on my rim on this end and that end.
Man, them old chicken house boards look good, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Well, you know, so you've got 16-foot 2x6s, and you paid $7 a piece of them.
They're about 14 to 15.
Yeah, I don't think they're 16. I measured mine. They came out a little
I
short.
can use about 14 or 15 foot of them.
But if
which
this
is enough for my rafters.
If this is 24, then 48 of those would floor it. And if you have to pay more than, let's see, 2 times 8 is 16 times, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, never mind. I was about to do math, but I don't
What were you contemplating doing?
Flooring it with those, with buying those more of those and flooring it with those. If it turns out to be cheaper than plywood or any other kind of flooring.
Plywood's still $40 a sheet.
That's what I'm saying. It may be that, well, if 2 of those, if they were 16, 2 of them together would be 1 foot by 8. So that would be like 2 feet by, 1 foot by 16, so 2 foot. So that'd be 14, double that, you'd be 28. So $28 would give you almost as much flooring as, what am I trying to say?
As a sheet of plywood.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, plus I wouldn't have to worry about a tornado tearing it up. I
don't like to do math in front of my YouTube audience because it shows how smart I am. People see how smart I am, they feel bad. I don't want to make people feel bad.
Let me show you this cultivator too, so you can see if you're ever going to need it.
Oh, that's right, you've got a new cultivator. So does that work on the back of the tractor?
Oh yeah.
Are you talking about that plow you got back there?
Yeah, I adjusted it. See, I used it. This is basically for putting out weeds between the rows and stuff.
Yeah.
But what I did is I set it up so I could form my rows.
That's a beauty. Yeah.
I took my tooth.
Look at you go.
I took these and spread them out.
Yeah.
And so I'm making these are my furrows, and then that forms my mound. So that's a planting mound. That's one. I got 6 rows.
You looking good there, buddy. It's a good piece. It's a good spot for a garden too. Nice and flat and all that fertilizer.
Clyde used to plant up here every year.
Man, you're gonna grow stuff like crazy. Thank you, Sugar, for your support and
really good soil.
And your fertilizer.
Anytime you need to tear up some ground, this will do it.
I bet it will. Okay, I'll go back.
Thanks for easing my mind.
Yeah. Well, now you know. You get fire to the spark plugs. And you have that thing running. Well,
I think what I'll do is I'll clean up that.
You know about Rusty Acres gravity fuel pump, don't you?
Well, it ain't got no. It just comes out of the fuel into the top of the carburetor.
Right. Yeah. So what he does is he hangs like those grease bottles that's got the little pointy tip.
Yeah.
He sticks a hose on that, runs it down the carburetor, and hangs it up over the motor. And you got gravity feed. Carburetor, fuel.
Well, I've seen people doing that when they were working on them. Yeah.
So,
seen videos of people hold up.
And what Musty One does is, once you get fire, You just squirt a little gas in each plug hole,
Right.
and then finger tight the plugs back in.
Right.
And it will crank
Right.
without whether the carburetor's working or
Right.
not.
Just
or
enough off
whether-
the fuel.
And
in
if
the
you hear
cylinders.
it fire and crank, then you know that all your valves are opening and closing and everything good like it should be. So.
Yeah, that's a little thing I was worried about. If I can get it to turn over with a flashlight, I'll be able to see whether those valves are opening or not. But I mean, I've got good compression, so
You should be
that
good.
tells me the exhaust valves are working.
Don't forget to plug them holes up so it don't rain in it.
Yeah.
I'm going home now.
All right. Well, thanks.
You bet. See you next trip.
Okay. I'll be over there sometime tomorrow.
I'm going to show everybody how much nicer your firewood looks in your yard than it was in mine. Ooh, just look at it. Just look at it. Your house looks great.
Well, it's getting there.
See you soon.
All right.
Hug Dixie for me.
I will.